Peace, power, understanding, wisdom, and light. You all, grand awakening, grand awakening. And I hope you are enjoying this beautiful day. Well, today we're going to talk about every day I try to bring a little word, if you will, or some things that I've learned along the way and how I changed from the old me to the new me. And a lot of times I will drop a word of the day. Well, today's word is a fruit. Today's word is fruit. I thought about I thought about the fruits of the spirit, especially when you're thinking about the Bible. A lot of our believers, we read and we research. But then I started reading Galatians 5 and 22. It really said a lot. And then I started doing more research on fruit. But let's talk about fruit first of all. I did a speaking lecture on fruit, Taste the Rainbow, and how fruit is so very, very vital to our world. Without fruit, we would not receive a lot of our vitamins that we need for our bodies. All right. I thought about when I did that lecture about the colors of fruit and what do the colors represent. And then I took it back to the rainbow or the covenant of God, between God and man, that as long as you see a rainbow in the sky, that our earth would not be destroyed, right? So there are colors in the rainbow, a covenant, if you will, that brought me to Galatians 5 and 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self control. You know, sometimes it's okay if you have a few of these attributes or the fruits of the spirit, or I call them covenants. But it's okay if you have a few. But what if you do not have, let's say, kindness? What if you have faithfulness? What if you have gentleness but you don't have self-control? You see how they all are intertwined. Love and joy, one is action and so forth. Peace. There's nothing like peace over your life in your home, even in in certain cultures and in certain books. It tells you that you must have peace in your home. To be with a arguing wife, that is the worst thing you can have in your life. Patience. A lot of times we lose our cool when we're dealing with people. And then we make a lot of bad decisions or we say horrible things that maybe we would not have otherwise said if we had the fruit of the Spirit, which is patience, kindness. You know, even your enemies deserve a reprieve at time. I know I have a few enemies. They think that they're my enemies, but they're really not. But I had to learn how to be kind, not just hard, not just rough to prove a point, but at times I will back off of my enemies. That is actually protecting your spirit as well. I have to do that a lot, especially when I see things or when I hear things. Angela, peace to you. When I see or hear things, I want to go on a defensive really quickly. But then the fruits of the spirit, they got a hold to me and they wouldn't let me go. And goodness. You know, I tell people all the time, it takes so much more energy to be mean and to be evil than to be good and to show goodness. It is so draining, you all. I know that you've probably ran across people like that they're so evil and wicked and vile. And you say, my goodness, do they ever get tired? Well, no, because energy feeds positive energy and negative energy. They both feed. So if you run across someone that is evil and vile, I guarantee you they are around others that have those same qualities, those same spirits, because I believe that spirits do attach themselves. I'm going to drop a video where a young man, maybe in his young 20s, he proved that a portal was open not too long ago. And since that portal opened, my goodness, the things that have been happening on this planet. And he predicted it, but later, after 1 o'clock, I'm going to drop something that happened. And now, if you are a believer, right, if you study the Bible, you may have heard about the whore of Babylon, that she rides on a beast, right? Well, I'm going to show you exactly where I just found this, this actually just occurred in front of millions of people, you guys, in front of millions of people. There was a big event, and the king, I will put it that way, the king decided to have a celebration in his country, and this is a true story, and it just happened. And the show that they put on for this king, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And then I had to keep rewatching and keep rewatching and keep rewatching. And I said, my God, that is the whore of Babylon. And that is Moloch. That is Moloch. I could not believe that. And then I thought, as I did more research, I said, whoa, the timing, the deaths. Sometimes deaths, they are not by accident, you all. Sometimes deaths, they are calculated. And a lot of time, deaths, they are, what are they? They're rituals. They are rituals. We know that this happens in the music industry all the time. We know that the contracts that the artists sign, they're signing away their very souls. We know this. But what I'm going to drop next, you will see a beast on the link. All right. So I want you to hit that reminder button so that you will not miss. I did miss the Kardashev because I was on a live last night, but I did miss the Kardashev lecture. I'm going to bring that at another time. I'm going to tell you exactly who the Kardashians are, where they came from, and how did they become billionaires without without talent. It is ancient. I'll just throw that gem out there. It is ancient, but the next one that I am going to bring is about Moloch. And you will be able to go and watch this video for yourself. And then you will be able to come back to me and say, yay or nay. Yes, I did see it in front of my eyes. You see, a lot of times they say if you want to hide something from our people, put it in a book. Well, here's another thing that I say. If you want to hide something, put it in front of their face. Put it in front of their face. Because a lot of times we really don't even understand or overstand what the symbolisms mean. All right. I did a whole lecture on symbolisms, on restaurants and the symbols that they use and their origins. I'll drop that at another time. But today's word is fruit. Today's word is fruit. With that, let me tell you, let me go back to the very beginning. Fruit was so important in the Bible, whether you believe it or not. I'm just saying for those that do believe. But fruit was so important that that was one of the very first stories in the Bible after man was created. What some, and I have had debates and talks with astute people from different belief systems, but I asked one question: what does the fruit symbolize? And what does the tree symbolize? And there's so many symbolisms, all right? And even the Christ, when they asked, why do you use riddles? Why do you use riddles? Basically, because if you can see it, you can believe it. If you can see it, if I can use something that you see every day, then you will understand and understand fruits of the Spirit. Back in the very beginning of the beginning, there were only a few things on the planet, right? Well, it is said that the garden, notice that word, the garden was there. And there were trees, but then there was fruit. You see, there is only a few things that have not changed over the, I say, millions of years on this planet. There's some things that have changed. Buildings have changed, haven't they? Animals have changed, but fruit. I remember looking at um, when they were digging up certain things and they found remnants and so forth. And if you look at the hieroglyphs and so forth, you will see that the fruits of today, they haven't really changed over the millions of years. And I said, well, why is that? And then I thought about how things were made perfect in the beginning, that man and woman, they were created a little lower than the angels. Peace, mother. They were created a little lower than the angels. They were created in perfection. They were not supposed to know good or evil. They were not supposed to taste death. And I remember reading in the Bible that certain people, they lived for hundreds of years. And I said, why is that? How is that? I said, because they were closer to the God source. It was just that simple. Because their bodies, they were not polluted yet like it has been now. We were made to be immortal on this planet. But what happened with the story of the fruit? Well, it is said that Eve, she tasted of the fruit. There were two trees. One was, immortality, everlasting life. The other was knowledge, wisdom, you see. So I asked my father, who was a pastor back then when he was still living, I said, so why didn't they choose the other tree of life? And he said they didn't have to. I said, wow, that makes so much sense. But when they chose to know what the Creator knew, see, the Creator knew about envy, jealousy, strife, and, you know, those lower those lower vibrational feelings, but he knew all of that. And he didn't he it she whatever you want to believe, did not want us to know these things, because the Creator knew that in knowing what the Creator knew, we would be doomed on this planet. The fruits of the Spirit, do you have them? Do you have them? Fruit, like I said, they are delicious, don't get me wrong, but they are medicine. They are the very first medicines on this planet. You see, nothing was by accident. You get it now. Every fruit was here not because of its beauty, but because it had a purpose. Our berries, they had a purpose. Our bananas, they have a purpose. Our oranges, they have a purpose. It is all vitamins from the Creator. When we decided that we no longer needed these things, we created modern medicine. Yeah, we created modern medicine. But I do believe that everything happens for a reason. I believe that perhaps modern medicine is good for certain situations. That's just me. And these are all my thoughts. These are all things that these are my understandings and overstandings. It does not have to be yours. You see, peace queens that are coming in. I want to know about what your beliefs are. What do you follow, Mr. Skinny? What are some of your beliefs? How did you morph? How did you become the Mr. Skinny TV? What are some of the things that you learned? And a lot of times we do learn when something hits our pockets. We do learn when we've been destroyed. Those are lessons you will never ever forget. Fruits of the Spirit: kindness, generosity, joy, charity, self control, faithfulness, gentleness, goodness, chastity, peace, patience, modesty. Those are 12 fruits of the Spirit. I am so grateful that God woke me back up when my heart stopped so that I could grab on to these other fruits, these other medicines, if you will. You see, I needed all of them. I couldn't just have chastity, I couldn't just have faithfulness. I also needed self control. I needed self control. These are fruits of the Spirit, these are medicines for your mind, your body, your spirit, you all. That is it. That is all. The word for the day is fruits. Again, like I said, the next live that I come with today, later, that will be Moloch, the god Moloch, and who just put on a really, really great show for millions in honor of Moloch. I'll give you a hint, you guys. There was a queen that just transitions not too long ago. Peace, power, understanding, wisdom, and light. Love you guys. Bye.